Hi, Brian Roten here, senior reporter for Hotel News Now. I'm sitting here with Mark Tamis from Aimbridge Hospitality. Thank you, Mark, so much for joining us here today. It's been nearly a year since you joined Aimbridge, coming on and taking on a new role for the company. Let's get started talking about how your first year has been.
It's been an incredible first year. You know, for me, having the right people and the right jobs is everything in what we do in any industry, but even more so in hospitality. And setting up the team for success has been a huge focus. You know, and I spent the first year, and in fact, my start was a year ago here at the NYU conference, so it's great to be back here a year later. And it's a great opportunity for us to meet our ultimate client, who are our owners. And so spending quality time with our key owners is super important. And those relationships are, you know, paramount to the success of Aimbridge Hospitality. But even more important for us, being able to deliver those results is about having the right people in the right jobs. And I've spent a lot of time focusing on that over the last year.
So your background was both in the hotel space and the cruise line space, correct?
It was.
So how do you feel that has informed the work you've done with Aimbridge?
You know, it's really interesting because hospitality has been what I've done my whole life since I was 14 years old. And having that background, and service translates across almost any type of hospitality industry. But when I became an executive within the cruise industry, I really learned how to operate at scale. Ships around the world, you know, 80,000 crew members on our ships, and learning how to deliver operational excellence at scale has been something I've been able to start to leverage at Aimbridge Hospitality. So having those two pieces of the background, the hospitality piece obviously gives me comfort in what I'm doing today, and then the cruise line space, really taking the kind of data-led focus, how the cruise lines operate, and bringing that into Aimbridge Hospitality, leveraging that for giving us operational excellence around the world.
So around the time that you came on to Aimbridge, that's when they had the announcement about their operational restructuring. It was I think, moving from like the silo kind of way of doing things to more like divisions. How has that, progressed in the years since, and how has that played into their announcement 6 months ago on the business development side?
You know, at our scale, which is a huge benefit to owners, it's also important to be operating nimbly on a day-to-day basis at the property level. And by implementing the divisional structure, that allows us to do that. So in North America, we have the 4 divisions, really by vertical. So we have select service, enhanced select service, full service, and lifestyle. And then internationally, we have our group out of Monterrey, Mexico, running Latin America, and our group out of Glasgow running EMEA. So having focus, and I always tell my team, focus is our friend. As big as we are, the more we can focus, the better we can deliver results.
So the big announcement out of Alice was the business development restructuring, and that's also when there's talk about the announcement of the focus on attracting new talent, retaining that talent, and that's when they introduced the whole team on the business development side as well. Can you tell us about some newer developments in that? I know you have a new announcement with the hiring of Ali Al-Basuni for the Enhanced Select Service. Talk to us about that and tell us about Ali.
Yeah, Ali's amazing, and we were fortunate to find him and happy to have him on the team. He's the new president of Enhanced Select Service at Aimbridge Hospitality, and so he's really focused on his portfolio of owners, his portfolio of hotels, and most importantly, leading his team, which has done a fantastic job over the last year, really building excellence within that team. And now Ali's just going to carry that forward. He's a great hire with incredible background, both on the operating side, on the franchise side, and on the owner relations side. So kind of the best of all 3 worlds for Aimbridge Hospitality.
Yeah, I remember meeting him at a Radisson conference actually just before the pandemic started, and just being really impressed with him, and just his knowledge, his expertise, and just his presence was really incredible.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And, as part of the process when you're hiring such a significant position, you're talking to a lot of people that they worked with in the past. And the stories that his fellow associates, his peers shared about how he led through the pandemic were really incredible. Huge compassion.
Any examples you can share with us?
Just how he was very much out in front of his team on a daily basis, communication, because in situations like that, and I learned this as well, the lack of information is what causes anxiety, not knowing what's happening next. And of course, none of us knew what was happening next. So the more we were out there as leaders and just talking and in the moment sharing information as we learned, because information was so powerful, because there was so much disinformation, was really important. So being out front, daily contact with your team, and just sharing in a very transparent way everything that you know.
So when you are, with the new talent attraction efforts, what is Aimbridge looking to do in order to, find this talent, make sure it's the right person for the job, and to make sure that, you're doing enough for them to want to work with Aimbridge?
That question's awesome, and it goes throughout the company, because it's not just at the divisional president level or the executive level, but it goes to our property level, to the entry-level associates. And it's really about building a place, and we call it the Aimbridge way, where you have an opportunity to grow yourself, an opportunity to succeed, and ultimately we want our team to feel like they belong. And that is the Aimbridge way. So we think about that, we talk about that, we live that way at every level in the company, especially at the property level, and then all the way up through our HQ in Plano, Texas. So really wanting to be an employer of choice, it's really how you treat your people. So every time we're thinking about big decisions, it's about how do we bring that Aimbridge way to life? Are we really creating this place where people will feel like they have a sense of belonging and that they have the opportunity to succeed and grow? And giving people that this day and age is so much more important than it's ever been. People want to belong. They want to belong to something bigger than just what their actual job is.
Looking at Aimbridge with its size, its scale, the expertise that it has, when you're looking for new talent, you have a lot of options. So what is the process to figure out, okay, this is the right person for this job?
It's interesting because this kind of goes to the industry, and there's always this balance between technical skills and interpersonal skills. And depending upon the level, if you're a CFO, it's a very technical job, but you also have to have great interpersonal skills. In operations, you have to have both, right? You have to have the interpersonal and you have to have the technical. So we're looking for people that have that balance, and Ali certainly exemplifies that. And so, he was a great hire. Today's his day one, and he's already out on the floor, shaking hands, kissing babies, and saying hi to a lot of old friends.
I didn't realize people were bringing their kids along to NYU. That's a whole new thing.
Yeah, that's not actually accurate, but he's certainly shaking a lot of hands.
Well, I mean, you're bringing someone on who has a long history with the industry and has a lot of people who I think will look to him to do something great here.
Our owners look to us to have great relations with us, but also to be delivering results. And I think Ali has shown that ability in his career, and he'll just, continue to amplify that at Aimbridge Hospitality.
Mark, thank you very much for joining us today. Look forward to having more chances to speak with you, and thank all of you for listening, and stick with Hotel News Now for further coverage.